What's going on, everybody? Javier Lopez here. Welcome back to the series, Building Better Athletes. Let's get it. All right, if you watched my first episode on learning the mentality and stuff, I'm going to skip a couple steps here and jump to the last one, so that we have that in mind for when we start going through the field techniques and the trainings and these specific details, right? So you'll have this knowledge as well. This is the last one, don't be fooled, but you need it, because if I give you the second one, you go through that. You'll need this one to kind of sum it up, to piece it all together, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in just a second. So the mentality, remember, the mentality is going to play into this one as well too. The mentality plays to every single point and aspect of what I'm going to roll through for everything. So bear with me there. So the last one, right? The last step, once you've got the mentality going on, you start working on the fundamentals, you start pushing more, all these things, right? The most important thing you can do after all that, so it's not like just a wasted thing, is to have your recovery, nutrition, and your sleep, right? And sleep, that's mainly where your body's going to recover, right? So you have to have the right amount of sleep, right? Roughly 6 to 8 hours, preferably 8. However, with the way things roll and, smaller kids, school's out, they're up later and all that things, right? So you want to keep it 6 to 8 if you can, right? That's where your body's going to recover from the training you've done before, the practices you've done, and it also keeps your mind fresh and going, and it's easier for you to remember things that you've learned and done previous day, and to continue carrying on to the next one, right? So let's go with the points. Yes, so the sleep requirements, like I said, 6 to 8 hours. That's what's going to give you that full-on recover, so the next day you're good to go. Will you be sore? Of course. This is where the mentality part comes in, right? Having the mentality of, okay, I need to sleep, I gotta recover, I gotta have my nutrition on point, all these things. And when you get these, and you get all these pieces fitting into one, it's going to be a huge boost to your performance and every aspect of your training and learning, right? So always make sure to get all your sleep that you need, right? 6 to 8 hours. Don't go overboard, because then you get that whole, I'm still tired because I overslept, right? You don't want to undersleep, because then your body doesn't have time to fully recover. So keep it in mind. Every athlete, right? I know as age progresses on, your sleep gets less and less. Still, performance-wise, youth to pro, you want 6 to 8, right? 6 to 8. Whatever you got to do, just get it so you can recover properly. All right, so let's hit the next key point here. Hydration habits. Yes, hydration. Water is it's like the secret pill. Everyone always says, like, what's your secret? What's the secret pill? Let me take a pill for that. Take a pill for that. Blah, 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 whatever. All right. There is no secret pill to anything, right? It's hard work, it's dedication, it's putting all these key points together, and it combines into one. Like I said before, any sport you're in, whether it's baseball, throwing, hitting, football, throwing, catching, running, jumping, whatever sport it is, there's always a bunch of small little technical things that equal one big thing, right? So for peak performance, you have all of these things that I'm putting out now that combine into one big perfect thing, right? And I shouldn't have said perfect. Perfect is definitely not the word to go, because you'll never be perfect. You only progress, right? Practice don't make perfect. Practice makes progression, right? You'll always progress. Even when you get to the pros, guess what? You got to keep on. You got to keep on progressing. Keep on progressing. Why? Because there's people underneath you training as hard as they can to come up. And if you're not on your key points of all these things, and they are, and they're outshining you, outperforming you, they're able to take direction better. They're able to perform better. Hey, it is what it is. It's a business. They swap you right out, right? And that could be a huge reality check that you most likely don't want to do, right? You don't want to have that happen to you. Then if you make it to that level and that happens to you, then that's a huge lifestyle change from what you would be making to what you did make. And it's a far wide margin, right? So can it get tough? Can your body break down and all stuff? Yeah, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna get exhausted, right? It's a never-ending battle of I'm gonna grind it every day, right? Whether it's a hard workout day, a hard field day, right? Or even just a recovery day or an active recovery day, right? You got to take these things all seriously. Recovery days where you don't, it's just an off day. Don't overwork yourself on these days because your body's still fully recovering. And even at that, your body, it recovers, but it's never going to be to a full concept of before then, right? And that's at the pro level. Now the college, high school, and the youth, take those days off, right? Take those days off so you can let your body recover. I have to tell my son, chill out, right? We can't throw hard every day. And the days we don't throw hard, we're just going through little minor things that you'll see, right? And it's like you gotta let it recover, right? Because if you're going full force all the time with no breaks in between, your muscles and your body's just slowly breaking down. So you get those recovery days so it can re-energize, right? It's like charging a battery. The rechargeable batteries you plug in, boom, fully charged, take it out, use it to the extent that you do, and once it starts dying out, you want to charge it before it dies all the way out because then you're screwed, right? You're out of luck. Your body's the same way, right? So when you're hydrating, think of hydration, right? Like your water intake as the fuel for your body, right? So think of it as gas in a car, right? The more gas you got, the further you can go. The better gas that you put into it, the better it'll perform, right? Same thing with your body, right? Your body's a huge percentage more water than anything else. So if it doesn't have the full capacity of its hydration that it needs to perform at the optical level of what you're trying to go to, you're just not going to, right? And if you take in massive amounts less, then you go into other issues, right? Health issues. You got heat cramps, you got heat stroke, you got all these things, and then all these things, muscle fatigue, which turns into an injury, a tear, a pulled muscle, something, right? And all these things affect these. So once you have an injury, you're out like at least 1 or 2 weeks, right? And then you got, my son had an injury, right? He was pitching, and those new mounds they put, I can't stand them. I wish we can go back to the old school mounds where it's just dirt and not these rubber whatever. Well, it was narrow, and he pitched and he stepped and hit the corner, and his knee hyperextended off to the left apparently, and the doctor told him you're out for a week or two. And during that process, he's like, Dad, can we go throw? Can we go throw? Can we go throw? I'm like, no. Like, this is how it works. You can take the week or two off and heal fully, or if you go play and you injure yourself more, that's possibly a bigger injury, and that's 1 to 2 years off. Which one would you rather do, right? So the proper hydration will help your body stay in high performance level as far as hydration goes, without your body completely shutting down and cause these injuries on that aspect, right? So water was technically your secret weapon or your secret pill or whatever you want to call it, right? It fills everything. Everything, just remember, water and sleep. Those are your main things you want to always hit, all right? Let's go to the next one. Basic sports nutrition, right? I think we all know what this is. Eat clean. Clean eating, right? If you're out there eating McDonald's or fast food, or here where I'm at, also burritos, gas station food, all this dirty stuff, guess what? It's the same thing like your hydration is, right? Your body needs these certain nutrients and proteins that are clean energy for your body to perform at a high level, right? So if you're putting in junk, guess what? Your performance is going to decrease bad. And I see it all the time when I'm training athletes, whether it's in the gym or on the field or the court. One practice to the next, I can tell you didn't eat right or you didn't drink enough water. And they say, yep. So you could just see the performance decrease, right? And when they're young athletes, yeah, they can get away with it a little more because they're just young and their body's just burning it off, and But you want to start getting them in the habits of good eating, good diet, good food, right? My son, I had him eating healthy since he was little. He doesn't know anything otherwise. Yeah, sure. Every once in a while we have, whatever, a pizza or but it's never an everyday thing. It's like a once a month thing or something like that, right? And I'm not saying don't let them be kids. They're still kids, but you also got to think of the health aspects, right? I had a kid who last year was no, I'm sorry, 2 years ago for basketball. He was 10 years old and weighed probably about 190, and he was maybe 5 foot. It's like there should be no kid that's trying to perform at a high level that should be that big and can't run a lap. And then the parents coming at me complaining he can't do this, he can't run. Well, then don't put him in sports. Either don't put him in sports or get him changed up, right? Because if you're trying to go and you're trying to perform and you're trying to get the best you can at something you love to do, you got to put all aspects into it. And if you're not going to do that, then don't, right? Or don't complain. One of the two, right? You can either ride the bench because that's what your performance is because everyone else is performing higher, or you can change and get these good habits in, and you have your performance level so high that, hey, we can do something with this. And that's because your body will, let's say you're the best talent at basketball or baseball, right? Whatever sport it is, you're the best talent there is, but everything else is off, right? Your hydration, your nutrition, your sleep, your conditioning, none of it's up to level, right? Your skill level is here and everything else is down here. You're not going to be able to achieve all this because your body performance will not allow you to pass that platform here, right? So you got to keep them both up. So if you want to perform at your highest peak, you have to make sure all these things are in check here so you're able to use the full capacity of your skill, right? Your skill and your talents. And if you want to go take it higher, you got to grind this out harder, right? So this goes up higher, boom, okay, now I can add more into it, and you slowly start doing that. And it's just a continuous thing, right? You'll never be perfect. You'll always get better. You'll always get better. You can never get worse. You can only have your performance suffer, but your talent will still be there. But again, your conditioning's not there. You can't use all your talent, right? So they all go hand in hand. It's a weird concept of 1,000 things make one thing work. And just stay on the clean side of things and really harp on that. So parents and your kids, when they're younger, don't let them splurge all wild, right? Like my son doesn't have Cokes, none of that. Just pure water, the good orange juice, not the Sunny Delight with the tons of sugar, because that's going to kill. The sugar will kill your muscle mass and your energy, right? It's a weird concept. Just it is what it is, right? So, all right. So the next one. The next one, recovery strategies, right? So there's tons of different strategies, right? Typically the youth, they don't have a whole lot of actual recovery techniques because they're more designed for high school, college, professional. My thing personally was the ice baths, the whirlpools. It's cold, it's obviously, but it helps recover so fast. Such a fast recovery, right? And then you have these other supplements out there like creatine and other things. Like I always stay away from all that stuff, right? I take pre-workout for the gym. But I always make sure it's the clean pre-workouts, none of these hardcore stimulants or anything like that. Because once you get used to those, let's say you make it to the pros, right? Specifically baseball, right? The list of PEDs is huge. It's almost like you can't even take pre-workout. And there actually is certain ones that you can take because there's 99% of them you can't. So you want to get in the habit of clean energy, right? Clean energy. And that's just the biggest thing. But recovery, your sleep and your stretches, right? Before you start an exercise, get a little warm up jog in, get your stretches in, hit your workout as hard as you can. Afterward, a nice little jog to cool off, stretching to cool off, a nice cool shower, some good food, some good recovery food, tons of water, and sleep, right? That is the greatest recovery you'll ever get. And for the first week, you might feel a little off, right? Because it's something new. Your body's not used to it. But you keep on that and keep on that and keep on that. You'll see your body start progressing in not only just visual, but your performance. And you'll just be like, wow, I used to do that in like 5 minutes and I did it in two. Or, it just goes on. I can breathe better. I can run faster and harder and longer. I can hit the ball harder. I can shoot the ball further. I can drive faster. I can stop when I want to. I can spin easier. All these agility things, right? Everything just kind of flows behind it when you get these pieces in place. Everything just follows, right? As long as you put the work in, it'll all follow, right? All right, so the last one, managing, practicing games, and training loads. Just like I was saying, right? They go together. Training days and your recovery and stuff, right? Make sure you have a good plan of what you're going to do, right? So I'll be running a spring training, well, it's more of a summer training, off-season training thing, right, for baseball. I'm working Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, off Saturday, Sunday, right? Now I do it for youth. It's for 8 to 12-year-olds. That's how I have theirs set up, right? I'll put the things up, I think in the next one, or as I progress through the series, I'll put them up so you can kind of see what's going on. You can use these to work for you. We'll hit the field. I'll show you how to do them and techniques and the forms and all these things, mechanics and stuff. So if you're training hard for 2 days straight, and say, boom, 2 days straight, the third day, either take a rest day or a light day, right? Nothing hard, nothing crazy, just enough to keep the cardio going, the body moving. And then the next after that, do a hard day and then a rest day, right? You never want to go more than 2 days hardcore, right? You can get away with 3 the younger you are. Anyone my age and older, or even close to my age, you're like, yeah, one day a week is good. One's good, 1 week's good, and then 6 days of rest day. That's kind of where I'm at. Not really, but I would love to. But the mindset is like, can't do that. You can't do that, right? If I'm coaching these kids, I'm having them do things, I always make sure I am able to do them before I make them do them, right? I will never ask any of my players or people I teach or coach or condition or whatever, I will never have them do something I can't do or never have done, right? I'll make sure I can do it. That way I can actually show them how to do it first. Now, if I go out there and show them to do something that I don't know how to do or I can't do, and I fail it, how do I expect them to be able to do it if I myself can't get the form, technique, and mechanics down to perform it properly, right? So, yeah, I'm 37 years old. I'm almost 38, so it gets a little weary. Any parents out there my age, you probably understand. So, but I do the best I can, right? So, and that's just it. The best you can, right? Set the goals, the best you can, right? 0.5% better every day, right? After 30 days, that's 15% better than what you were, right? Small goals, you by the time you know it, you're further ahead than what you think you would be or what you think you are, and further ahead of what other kids are, right? Or other people in high school or college are, or even in the pros, right? Because you got the pros, right? Baseball, you got the big show, MLB. Then you have the 3 minor league teams underneath them, right? Those guys are performing, the minor league guys, they're performing hard so they can get seen to get pulled up, right? And you get some guys in the MLB who, like, they kind of slack off because they're there, and then their performance starts failing. And then suddenly it's like, okay, well, I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, he got dropped down to AAA, and they brought this other guy up instead until he can, work on this or work on that. And that's just a natural progression, right? Is complacency. Never be complacent. Never be satisfied with where you're at, right? Because you can always get better, right? No matter what. And that doesn't mean go out there and train as hard as you can until your heart blows up, because that's very counterproductive. Just enough to where your body is like, okay, boom, I got a good workout in today. Let's go recover. Let's go. Get your ice bath in, or your cold shower in, your stretches in, your jogs in, your good nutrition, your water, and then your sleep. And guess what? You're going to be sore, but yeah, I always say it's better to be sore than to be sorry, right? If I'm going to get beat at something, it's because a person outbeat me, because they're just straight up better. I never wanted to have oh, they beat me because I failed to do this, or I failed to do that, or I thought I was too good for this or too good for that, so I didn't do it because I just skipped these steps. And it's like, I didn't need that. And then I got beat, right? If you're going to get beat at something, make sure they beat you because they actually beat you, right? And then the vice versa, right? It's always a competition, right? Nothing hard, right? In practice, like you're not, oh, I hate you, I'm going to beat you at this. No, like fun competitive stuff, haha. Like I was talking about last time, I'm going to outdo you. No, I'm going to outdo you. And then you got this race of, I'm going to outdo you. And by the time you know it, you guys are so far bettering each other that it's amazing, right? And you're fun at the same time. But make sure you have these recovery things in place. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, that's the last bit of that. But I wanted to give you guys this, right? This is the last piece because everything in between, you need this at the very end, right? So when I start putting stuff out where you can train things and you start going out there and doing them and you're sore, you know how to recover and what it is that you need to do to recover. Stay away from Gatorade. Gatorade's got a lot of sugars, right? Gatorade, Powerade, like I said, everything is just strictly water, right? Propel Fitness water, that's pretty decent, right? That's not too bad. The little hydration packet that you put in water, those work good too. But as far as these sugary drinks, Gatorades, Powerades, stay away, right? Until you get to where you want to be. And then you can kind of play with it and see how your body reacts to these things. Because when you're at like a lower level and you're trying to perform and get better, you can't really see a whole lot. Like you're like, oh, I'm just not getting there. I'm just not that great at it or whatever. But whenever you change it all to extreme clean, water, good nutrition, sleep, all that stuff, and your body just keeps constantly progressing, especially young athletes, because you guys progress faster than I would, right? Or high school, because they're younger. They're able to adapt easier. You'll see a progression quick, and then you can kind of mess with things like, okay, no, this, I drank that, and my conditioning and my performance went down a little bit, so nope, cut that out, right? And it's just like those things, right? Progress those, check those out, see how they're making your body react, how you feeling. Do you feel heavy? Do you feel sluggish? Like, oh, I don't want to do this, or do you feel energized and ready to go and take on the training for the day and give it your all, right? At a time, like say you train hardcore for 30 minutes. The next time you're like, I want to do it for 30 minutes or 35 minutes. And then on up and up and up and up. But if you're taking stuff in like, oh, I'm at 20 minutes, I'm dead, I'm dying. Check your diet, check your recovery methods, right? All those ones, and see which one got changed, right? Which one is throwing you off. So all in all though, thank you guys for checking this out. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about anything in particular, go and drop down below, and then I will do the best I can to get to every single one of them. Because our young athletes and athletes just in general are the future, right? You can get huge college degrees off that, right? College scholarships, gets degrees, right? So it's more than just a sport. But yeah, anything else? Let me know. Peace.